All right, let's talk about the big news. Big news over there in Hairy Legs world.
Got hairy legs. Hairy. Got hairy legs. Hairy.
Armageddon's on the way.
Why don't you bring us this first one here?
Okay, this is the Wall Street Journal. And the people who have student loans, I bring good news. Biden to announce student loan forgiveness plan. Yay!
Yay!
President Biden is expected to announce Wednesday that he will cancel some federal student loan debt for tens of millions of Americans through a long-awaited executive action, which would provide unprecedented relief for borrowers, but is certain to draw political and legal challenges.
No kidding.
The action would be...
And he could have done it a year ago when he said he would, but he waited until right before the midterms. Wow. Pretty convenient.
The action would be the culmination of more than a year of debate within the Biden. See, they were debating within the administration.
Within their own administration. They're not even debating with Republicans. They're debating within their own little group.
Biden is also expected to extend the pandemic pause on student loan payments likely through the end of the year. Loan payments were set to resume for millions of borrowers after August 31st. During months of internal deliberations, many in the White House have coalesced around a plan to forgive around $10,000 of student debt for borrowers who make under $125,000 a year, or around double that for married couples, which includes the vast majority of the 40 million people with student debt. The action could render up to 15 million borrowers whose balances are under $10,000 entirely free of student debt. And then the other detail here, does it even say it in this one? I thought there was a $20,000 one for the pen.
Yeah, it's for the pen. What are they called? Pen. Yeah. What is it called?
What is it called? I'm totally blanking on it.
Yeah, I forget. I texted
pen
it
pals?
to you earlier.
Pen pal people.
The pen pal grant. Yeah.
Grant.
Whatever. It's a different kind of
grant.
Yeah, pal grant.
Same thing. Pal grant. $20,000 for people making less than $125,000.
So
okay, all right. Well,
different federal loan program.
I'm glad Joe's doing something, but keeping his promise. Yeah. Although we got this clip from Pelosi. Should we play it now, or do you want to do it after?
Well, yeah, okay. I'm glad you have it. Yeah. So this was sort of regarding the fact that he's doing this by executive order. Okay, This is just an executive order from the president. Probably his first one that actually does anything. But he promised to do this during his election, and he waffled back and forth after he got elected. People thought he was just going to do it. He signed like 60 executive orders on day one or whatever. And this one was not included. And this was part of the reason everybody is mad at him. You know, he's making promises, not keeping those promises. Surprise, surprise. And to defend him not doing that, Nancy Pelosi a year ago came out and said this.
People think that the president of the United States, is this more on the subject than you ever want to know? Will you let me know? People think that the president of the United States has the power for debt forgiveness. He does not. He can postpone, he can delay, but he does not have that power. That has to be an act of Congress.
Okay, so he doesn't have the power. So which one is it?
There you go. Who are we to believe? Do we believe Nancy that he does not have the power? Now, of course, she was saying this back when it benefited him to not be signing it.
Oops.
Or does he have the power the whole time and Nancy was lying about it? We'll just literally never know, probably. But if he suddenly does have the power, or if he still does not have the power, but is sort of signaling, it's like a virtue signal. Okay, I'll sign it. I'll tell everybody I'm going to forgive him. I'll sign the paper. I'll get the photo op. Everybody will be all stoked right before the midterms. And we'll wait for the Republicans to fight it in court, which will make them look bad. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is a trap for the midterms because first of all, if the president doesn't have the power, Trump did this stuff all the time, and he got lambasted for this all the time.
It's like a fake out.
Democrats yelling at him for overstepping his power as the president. He's tyrannical. He's this. He's that. He doesn't have the power. Blah 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 blah. But when Biden does it to save everybody 10 grand, not everybody, by the way, which is the contentious part. Suddenly nobody cares whether he does or doesn't have the power to do it. But I think it's a trap, similar to the Roe v. Wade overturning, similar to, a lot of things, some very well executed traps by the Democrats this election season. I think that's what this is. He's going to sign it. And I don't think it's not going to take effect because Republicans will challenge it. No Democrat's going to challenge it. Republicans will challenge it. And suddenly people will be at the ballot box being like, hey, wait a second. Biden tried to take away my debts and Republicans fought him on it. I'm going to vote for AOC or something,
Interesting. Is that their avatar? Their main target?
Yeah. But Bill, you live in Texas. You can't vote for AOC. Well, I saw her on the TV and I like the way she dresses. I'm voting for AOC. So there you go. I think it's simple as that. Like, I'm not even tripping too hard on this.
Sure.
I think it's as simple as that. Now, the interesting part about this,
the Reuters article.
Well, no, let me go to the very end of the article we were just reading. Mr. Biden's moves to cancel debt, quote, would not only be unfair to those who already repaid their loans or decided to pursue alternative education paths, but it would be wildly inflationary at a time of already historic inflation. Mr. Romney said. That's what Mitt Romney said. Economists say that a tailored debt cancellation plan is unlikely to exacerbate short-term inflationary pressures, but could add to them in the long term, especially if universities continue to raise tuition because students may expect their loans to eventually be canceled. I think that's a very real problem. We already know that the for-profit university system has raised tuition costs to some astronomical percentage of what they used to be.
Corrupt.
Simply for exactly corrupt reasons. Even some economists, back to the article, this is great. Even some economists, usually aligned with the White House, including former Clinton administration Treasury Secretary Larry Summers and former Obama administration economist Jason Furman, have criticized the cost of a potential student debt cancellation.
You know what this is? That whole delay? It was Obama arguing with Joe. Joe's going to, I think we cancel it. Obama went, no, Joe, I think it's a bad idea, Joe.
I think it's a bad idea, Joe. Let's see here. Have criticized the cost of a potential student debt cancellation and warned that it could force future spending cuts or tax increases. So they're saying, literally, it seems like everything Biden does is very short-sighted. Every single thing. Very good. Everything he does is very short-sighted. He's not worried about the future. And you know why he's not worried about the future? Because he's not running again. And if he does run, he's not winning again. So he doesn't care about what happens in the future.
It's kind of the issue.
And he might not even be alive to be blamed for it.
It's kind of the issue with putting a really old guy in charge.
85-year-olds, yeah.
It just doesn't have the same trajectory plan,
So it ends with this. A budgeting model from the Wharton School of University of Pennsylvania estimated this week that forgiving $10,000 in federal student loan debt with income caps would cost around $300 billion over a 10-year period. Okay, so you have Clinton administration Treasury Secretary Larry Summers and Obama administration economist Jason Furman both saying that this will cause inflation in the future. Maybe not right now, but in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's jump over to Reuters real quick, because this was really fun. Reuters has a headline that says student debt relief package could lead to deflation, U.S. official says. Okay, so you got Clinton and Obama both saying it's going to inflation. But this U.S. official says it could lead to deflation.
Not just inflation, wildly inflationary. Already historic inflation.
Yes, exactly.
No, this is going to bring deflation.
We've got a dissenting opinion here. Are you ready to read this article? And I'm going to read the article in its entirety.
Okay.
So buckle up, everyone. A plan unveiled by the Biden administration to forgive $10,000 in federal student debt and defer payments through year end could have a neutral impact on consumer prices or even be deflationary, a senior administration official said on Wednesday. That's today.
Who said that?
A senior administration official.
Okay, do we have a name?
So a secret source.
Probably Joe.
This is supposed to be good news, right? It's not even like leaking a secret. It's not giving a bad impression that will make the president look bad. This is good news that they are not naming the source. They're saying it's a senior administration official. Look, there's not that many senior administration officials. It may actually be Joe Biden himself.
Saying. That's what I think it is. It's Joe saying.
Let me continue.
Deflationary. Come on.
Let me continue the article.
Okay.
Speaking on a call previewing President Joe Biden's remarks about the program, officials also said the program could benefit 43 million student loan borrowers. That is the end of the article.
What?
It is 2 sentences
Wait a
long.
minute. How do we have 4 people reporting this? Reported and there's listing 4 people for a 2-sentence. This 2 sentences. Yeah, this is a 2-sentence article. 2
sentences with an unnamed source on Good News reported by 4 journalists: Alexandra Alper, Nandita Bose, Kanishka Singh, and David Lauder. The dream team. They had to assemble the Avengers.
The Reuters quartet. The
Reuters
Fantastic
quartet,
Four of the Reuters.
Dream team.
Dream team.
To write literally 2 sentences with an unnamed source that completely, with no explanation, goes against the Clinton and Obama administration, friendly economists to Joe Biden's plan, say it's going to be opposite of this 2-sentence article. They should have just tweeted it. Why is it even an article? It's a tweet. Hold on, I'm going to see if this would fit in a tweet.
Probably a couple. Well, obviously, there'll be a 2 or 3 tweet thread, is my guess. But,
I'm gonna go. I don't think it'd be that much. Let me see.
I think so.
I'm pasting it.
Oh, you know what? You're right. It might be. It might be one.
I think it would fit in a single tweet.
Well, you can cut corners and use emojis or something to try to.
Okay. Yeah, it'd have to be 2 tweets.
2 tweets. That's what I was thinking.
Just barely 2 tweets. And it's just hilarious. I mean, they got the information from the president's administration.
This is probably Joe texting these.
It's probably Joe himself, or there's only a handful of people it could be.
Yeah,
and they just got the news. They're reading the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah,
they're seeing that Obama and Clinton, some undying allies, disagree and think he's going to destroy the economy even further than he has. And then he gets 4 reporters on a call to write 2 sentences in Reuters. It is just, honestly, the most crushing reality about our mainstream Legacy, by the way. This is Reuters. This isn't some hokey pokey, mainstream outlet. This is Reuters. 2 sentences, 4 authors, unnamed source against, the 50 paragraphs that Wall Street Journal reported. Anyways, there you go. This is why I love my job, because it gives me heart palpitations reading this sort of thing.